here, come check out my video. But this channel page, and this is something that I'm just hearing you talk about this actually for the second time, this channel page actually establishes me as an authority. It's not just here's some content. It's actually, okay, Paul is an authority. Here's what he watches. Here's what he likes. Here's what he's reviewed. Here's what others have reviewed about him, and that kind of thing. And that channel page, for me, would be considerably more valuable in my promotion than any single video. Is that a good take on this?
That is a very good take on it. It's something else I've noticed. I was reading a guide over the weekend that was discussing how much traffic he's driven over to his main website. He actually does not promote individual videos. He promotes his channel. He is out there actively working with just basic SEO concepts of trying to create backlinks that are pointing to his channel. So he'll do that with certain videos if it fits the scenario. But, example, someone sent me an email the other day, and at the bottom they had their standard signature that has all their places where I can find them. Come follow me on Twitter. Come be my friend on Facebook. Come be my friend on MySpace. They didn't have their YouTube channel. That's the perfect spot for that. Don't send them to, hey, check out my latest video. Send them to your channel. You can start getting some traffic going over there. If any of you have any of the SEO tools attached to your search engine, and when you're searching on the internet, in fact, I'm not going to launch it right now, but I could show you that there are some channels where if you go to not youtube.com/Brad Fallon, but if you go to youtube.com/user/Brad Fallon, you'll actually see that there's some page rank there. Not on Brad's yet. We're too new. But last night I found a couple guys that had a page rank of 5 on YouTube. And they're getting that from getting other traffic off the site mostly. But a lot of these things are ways you can start using. Instead of sending someone to your Facebook profile, send them to your YouTube channel. Treat it like it is your Facebook or your MySpace profile. Create a playlist. And another feature that I think everyone doesn't always think to be using, if I go back to channel design here, now, your latest video is always going to be the one that shows up in this main space unless you set it to something else. And we had one video that we specifically wanted to make sure that people were watching there. So that's something also to take note of. So there's your playlist. Now, these two features right here I think are awesome.
Okay, hello. It's Julie jumping in once again very quickly just to let you know about another change that has occurred on YouTube since the webinar was recorded. And that is changes to the act of displaying your recent ratings and recent comments on your YouTube channel. Let me show you what I mean by that. The webinar, when it picks up, is going to be showing you where on your edit channel area you can set it to show your recent comments and your recent ratings and why this is important. Now it no longer has those two separate choices. Basically, it has all gone into the recent activity feed. So to show you that, I am going to come over to the web where we see my friend Joe's channel. I'll be using this in the webinar. And when I scroll down, you'll now see that here in December, we're finding his recent activity feed right here where I'm about to show you in the webinar how to set it to be your recent ratings and your recent comments. Notice both ratings and comments are all coming up here. Here Joe rated a video, he commented. It will now even tell you in the activity feed when you become friends with someone. So in order to have this show up, then under that edit channel, where we are in the webinar anyway, under channel design, I'm about to scroll down in the webinar to show you right here where you can click on showing the recent ratings and recent comments. Instead now we have those combined together into showing your recent activity box, and then from there you can go in and edit that in terms of what you want to show up and what you would rather not show up.
We don't use them with Brad's because most likely it's often me or one of his video editing guys that are in here messing around, and we never want really to show off what we're doing. But this can be turned on and off too. And one of the best examples that I've seen of somebody using this is my friend Joe Noonan. And Joe's got a page. He runs his website is Planetary Partners, and they do a lot of spiritual adventure retreats out of Fort Lauderdale. I know recently they went to Hawaii. And Joe, if you come down here, now he's the director, see, he's got that extra link there. And again, who knows how many people see that, but that is one of the supposed benefits if I click on that, that will take me to his website, by the way. That's his domain, and they've just hyperlinked that there. So you can even put your MySpace page or something else. But here we've got Joe's recent video ratings and his recent video comments. And these are other videos that he's watched. Those are showing up on his page. And really, Joe is kind of trying to position himself as this spiritual leader, this person who, adventurer, travel guru, whatever the case might be. He wants to show that he's actually out there consuming other people's content that has to do with that topic. So he's commenting on other people's videos. And when people come and they see this, they see that you're participating. This is sort of the socialization factor here. And again, like I said, if you really want to show your expertise and level of interest in your niche and to look like you're a super participatory community member, then putting those boxes up there, I think, is really going to demonstrate that and have other people then wanting to interact with you more and watch more of your videos, etc.
Very cool.
Especially if you're not submitting any content yet, this is a great way to start building that reputation in your niche, is to start showing off what you're watching if you're not producing anything of your own.
Oh, hold on a second. That's good stuff. So because everybody consuming this obviously wants to do something with YouTube, and the world of creating video and getting all that stuff, that might be a bit overwhelming. But if somebody can today, at the end of this webinar or at the end of this recording, get a YouTube account, create a page just like you showed, and start commenting on other things, maybe even making playlists of their favorite stuff, they can, when they launch their first video, have a very strategic advantage over anybody who just kind of produces their first page the day they produce their first video. Is that right?
Exactly, and that's why in the next section I'm going to be talking about adding friends and gaining subscribers. Well, without content, it's really hard to start gaining subscribers. But before you even have content up, you should be out there adding friends, because that's really going to set that group out there so that once you do start adding content, you've already got a community that you've created around you within this realm just on YouTube, and that's going to really help push your videos along, because they're going to start watching your content as it's coming out, and that'll push you up in the indexing, and then that'll get picked up by Google. So anyone out searching just regular Google might have more chance of seeing you because you're doing so well just within YouTube. So it all kind of, you can be doing a lot to lay a lot of foundation and groundwork here in the beginning.
Wow, very cool.
So, and again, that was clicking on these here. Now, some people say, well, that might be distracting and take people's attention away from what I'm doing. Well, remember that a lot of the people that are going to be on YouTube checking out channels, they're not watching your video elsewhere embedded on another site. They're actually on the site of YouTube, and they're there to participate just like you are. So very likely, I think that, yeah, they may click over and see something else, but they're not going to forget who they got that recommendation from to go and watch that other thing. They're going to remember you. And the final thing is a video log box, which is another thing that Brad doesn't use. And let me actually go over here to that famous video that you like to talk about. Who am I looking up? Actually, let me do a search. The toy boat guy. The guy whose video I responded to that helped me get a lot of views. This guy is a really good example of someone who is using both playlists right down here as well as the video blog. And what this allows you to do, this is sort of your video weblog right here within YouTube. And so it's your personal video journal that you can make accessible to anyone visiting your channel. So what you'll do is you'll post your videos from one of your playlists. So you have to create those first, and then you can then turn that into your video blog. And the cool thing is that you're allowed to customize these titles here. Look, sorry, we should be bleeping that out. This may be somebody else's video that he's showing. And actually, if I look at all of his videos, if you look at the third one down here, this is actually my video. When I posted a video response to this guy, he decided to, and he used my own title, but he could have customized this and changed it. He could have said, wow, I was just out searching around and I found this girl who had posted a response to my video. He could have said that, because you're able to actually alter that text within your own blog. And you can do it with your own videos. So if you actually want to comment more specifically on a video that you've done, you can do that. There's another guy that I discovered just last night, the Happy Cabby is what he goes by. And he's another person that uses this wonderfully with the playlist. Right down here, he has a complete balloon instruction playlist on how to blow up balloons. But the guy's got 225 videos. and only 65 of those videos have to do with that. So he's helping me out as somebody that may want to know. Say I'm having a birthday party for my kid, and I want to. I don't have a kid, but my niece, and so I can go in and just watch those 65 videos without having to go through all of his videos and try to find them. And then we come further down, and here's his video blog, and he's actually discussing and talking about his own videos. And gosh, look, he's also got his recent comments on here too, and his recent ratings. So somebody would come along here and be like, wow, this guy is, and he's got all of his information filled out. He's even got, he's using Flickr as his website. And then we can come up here and look and see, wow, he has watched 12,000 videos. This guy is participating. And now every time he puts a video out, if we go to his videos here, and then you can sort by the most viewed. Let's see the highest viewed video, 49,000 people watching him how to blow up a spider pig balloon. That's great. The final thing that I wanted to make a comment, the background. We saw my friend Joe Noonan's page. He had that great water dolphin background. He does a lot of retreats where he takes people out to go swimming with dolphins and things. So when I came to that page, wow, was that ever branded with the whole idea of sea and adventure and beauty and spiritual things, and it was just calling out to you. Same thing with Happy Cabby over here. He's got his little balloon things in the background. Now, some of these things might become a little distracting for people, but do know that here under the background customization, you can change and sort of visually brand your channel to say more about you and what you're interested in. So definitely take advantage of that if it suits what you're doing. Or you can just change your basic color scheme up here. And again, note, if you have a playlist, it's going to show up here directly under that main video. And you can turn these on and off and move them around. So if you're subscribed to a lot of things but you don't have a lot of subscribers, you can take the one box off and change the other and move them around in such a way that you're really showing people, hey, this is me participating. Look how great I am. Look how many favorites I have. Another thing to make sure that you do is to really go out there and start favoriting some videos. Now, organizing your videos, this is something to pay attention to. Brad actually has his videos done in Mandarin for his episodes because he has an audience that's watching these videos in China. So what he does is we don't want those showing up just in chronological order on their own. We want to be able to select and choose which videos show up. We also have a few videos that maybe don't fit. He may upload a video that's about StomperNet that he really doesn't want showing up in the top 9. And the top 9 is what will show up on your channel, your top 9 most recent episodes. So I can actually remove and add various videos. So it's something to think about. If you want people to come to your channel and see that you have a very popular video that you've done, but it was maybe 10 videos ago, but it's got 5,000 views, and none of the 9 that came after it have gone beyond that, and you want to show that 10,000, come in here, remove all the videos, and just start over choosing the ones that you want to be seen, because you really do want to show your best collection that you've got, because a lot of people will come just directly to the channel and not really think to go further to explore more of your content other than those 9 highlighted videos that prominently are displayed on your channel. So the final thing I have to say about the channel is really, again, showing your involvement. It's a good idea to go in and favorite videos that are related to your niche. Show your subscribers. Show the number of friends that you have. Even if it's not a lot, it may be. We'll talk about bulletins here in a second. I already told you down here to show the channel comments. And the final thing is active sharing. And this is kind of a weird feature that YouTube has. I think they meant it to be something much cooler than it really is. But if I turn this on here, right up at the top, and I can say, okay, start active sharing. Okay, active sharing is on. So let's go to my channel, and let's watch this Boaters TV episode. So here I am, watching the Boaters TV episode. Now I'm logged in, by the way, as Brad Fallon. One of the first things I noticed is that Brad Fallon's watching it. When you do that, you will stay up there, your name will stay up there for up to 30 minutes. So all you have to do is spend 2 minutes on a video, or even 10 seconds on a video, and you'll show up in the also watching now area. And then once you go away, it'll stay there for 30 minutes. It's not a huge way to get traffic, but I actually have seen my channel views go up, not just because I left a comment somewhere, but because I actually had the active sharing feature on. And I think a lot of people say, hey, I want to talk to someone or be friends, add as someone as a friend that I see that we obviously have this common interest. But here's another cool way to use it when you think about it. You can find prospects to network with by watching related content in your own niche, going and looking and seeing if anybody else is actively watching it, and then go and add that person as a friend. Because if it's about cake decorating and you've got video content about cake decorating and you see that Jane XYZ is watching a cake decorating video, you go over, add her as a friend, send her a message if you want, but I would just start out with adding her as a friend and then go from there. And go see if she's got any video content up and leave a comment on it that'll make her maybe come over to your channel and see what you've got. And, oh, my gosh, this person also has cake decorating. Isn't that odd? I was just watching a cake decorating video yesterday. Well, that's, of course, how you found them. So that's a good way to kind of spy on people, is to, check what videos are being watched the most that day that may have something to do with list building, let's say, is your area, or not many people are watching videos on crocheting, but let's say crocheting is your niche. Go find a crocheting video. See if anybody is watching it or has been by to watch it in the last 30 minutes. They'll be their friend. So that's more of the way to use active sharing to find people. Now, initially, when YouTube set this up, they wanted it to be that when people came to your channel, they actually saw what you were currently watching. And I don't know if they still have plans to roll that out yet, but they have yet to do that, because I thought that was kind of cool, too. The next thing that I want to talk about is adding friends and gaining subscribers. I've spoken a lot already about how this can really help your profile authority, how this can really help possibly even your page rank in terms of what Google and YouTube consider it to be, which means that, and a lot of these guys that are out there trying to figure this out have said they noticed that there is a correlation, perhaps not one-to-one direct correlation, but there is a correlation between how many subscribers you have to how many times that your video gets brought up higher in the search results, or shown over on the Google search results, or featured on the homepage of YouTube, for example.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the whole Google thing, the whole link back. I mean, if 100 people are linking to my website and one person's linking to somebody else's website, my website is obviously more viable. And if I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, and right now I've got 60, so now you guys know why I brought Julie onto this. But if I've got thousands...
Everyone go subscribe to Paul's channel.
Well, thanks.
That'd be a nice thing.
/ Colligan. And, but if I had thousands and thousands of subscribers, then it would make complete and total sense that somebody, that Google would, and Google's algorithm inside of YouTube would, take my content as being more viable, right? I mean, it only makes sense. So
it makes total sense.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about the YouTube algorithm later, but much of where I've come from trying to determine and figure out what that is going and looking at what is the way that Google would figure it. And if you look at your channel as your homepage of your website, any video connected to that channel, just like any subpage off of your main index of your website, is going to be doing a lot better out there in searches than something that is connected to a homepage that has 0 page rank, or it doesn't have a lot of things linking to it. So you kind of got to look at it. And I'm not saying everyone here needs to be an SEO expert. I'm certainly not an SEO expert, but I'm seeing where there is that correlation between websites pulling up for keywords that are searched in the search engine and to what happens over on YouTube with the same thing.
Now,
so
Julie, I was sorry to interrupt again, but this has got my mind spinning. You mentioned not being a search engine expert, and you don't have to be. I mean, basically, you need to know who your competition is. You find that by searching for this stuff, and if competition has, 100 subscribers and you have 5, all you might need is 105 to do better than that guy, right?
It does help. It's not everything, but
sure.
Subscribers does have, I think, a lot. There is weight to put on that with the YouTube algorithm, and again, possibly even Google deciding whether or not to show you in the main results. Subscribers are good. We want subscribers. And a way to start with getting subscribers is to add friends. The thing with friends is that you should look at them almost like subscribers. Because YouTube allows you to send out your new videos whenever they're uploaded, there's a share feature, and you can click on that, and it will list all of your friends that you have on YouTube and say, who do you want to share this video with? And you can actually send them an email through the internal YouTube system that says, hey, check out my new video. And that's when they're on your friends list that they come up on that share option to do that. But another thing, too, when you send out a lot of friend requests, most likely, and this is what I always found, a lot of times people would come back and watch my video. If I sent out 50 friend requests in a day, and then went and those people saw that invitation coming through, I would say maybe 50% would come over and at least see who I was, and most likely in doing so would take a look at, oh, well, this was her most recent uploaded video, let's check this out. Or, hey, let's subscribe to her channel, I really like this girl's stuff. They wouldn't have found out about me unless I reached out to them in the first place and sent them a friend request. So I'm going to say a little something here about friend adding software. And what this is, it's automated software that will actually go out there and allow you to extract IDs off of other people's channels or videos and then turn around and without you having to individually visit each individual separate profile, which is how normally, let me show you, if you're on YouTube and you want to, let's say I like this guy and I want to, hey, be my friend, I actually have to come to his channel and click add as a friend in order to send him that friend invite. Now, instead, what I can do is with Tubinator, which is found at tubinator.com, that's Tubinator, Tubinator, it's a $42 program, so again, you really have to decide if that's worth it for you. And let me show you quickly here how it works. And we used to use this in the beginning stages anyway with the Voters TV, where every day it wasn't like MySpace. The MySpace friend adding software, which, by the way, the one I used with that was by Michelle McPherson, and she's the one that has created Tubinator as well. And that, you were able to, I think, send out up to 400 friend requests a day on MySpace. And that was killer because you could set that thing to automatically send those requests and then take your video off of YouTube and embed it right there on your MySpace page and set it to autoplay. So 400 friend requests went out without you having to do anything. And of those, maybe 50% would come check out to see who you were, and that automatically set off the autoplay feature right there with your video on your page playing. We used to do that with the Voters TV, and it worked really well, and that was always one of my big stealth tactics was, just autoplay, send out friend requests, and have people come over and look and set the autoplay off. Well, recently, thanks to Avril Lavigne fans, YouTube has gotten rid of the function that allows for any embedded videos that are auto-playing on other sites to count towards the views on YouTube. So now if you've got a video embedded on another site, somebody actually has to click on that to hit play in order for it to count over on the YouTube views. But before, if it just auto-played, those would count. So the Avril Lavigne fans, which she's that rock star girl, all her fans, they caught on that, oh, wow, they count the autoplays, and they wanted for Avril to become, if you look under videos and the most viewed video of all time, you'll see Avril Lavigne right here in the top spot, and that's because her fans figured that out and were just auto-playing her video while they were at school all day. So she got up to over, 101 million views here on YouTube. That's crazy. So they've gotten rid of that feature, unfortunately, because that was always a great way to really get people to discover you.
Let me put all this together, because you've been doing this for a while, and I myself am taking notes here, so if you hear scratching on paper, sorry about that. But what you're saying here, if I understand it right, is if you ask someone to be your friend, a friend request, chances are very good that they will come out to your website and check you out, to figure out, who the heck you are, why you're asking for a friend request, that kind of thing. In that process, chances are good that they'll play a video or two of yours, which will bring up your numbers accordingly. Yeah. So then you take a piece of software. You can either do it yourself as a one-off, or you can leverage it with the tool, take a piece of software like Tubinator and find friends quickly and easily, so you can kind of automate, leverage, speed up the friend getting process, will you? So is that pretty much it, Julia?
Right, and in fact, I'll show you the way to do this strategically.
Okay, please.
Let's say you take your niche, and I'm actually logged in here right now. If I click on Manage Accounts, you'll see that I'm logged in under Brad already, so I had this all set to go.
Okay.
And so what I want to do, he reports on Web 2.0 news. So the freelinereport.com, Web 2.0 news you can use in 2.0 minutes. So I'm going to search, let's say, Web 2.0. And all these people that are coming up here are obviously into Web 2.0. They've created videos. These are all the content producers here that are coming up. I can actually go to one of their videos and just extract the IDs of everyone that, say, comments on their video, and those might be more users rather than just content producers. But as Brad himself is a news reporter, kind of reporting on the scene, we want these people to know about him and the episodes that he's putting out. So I'm going to go ahead and extract all the IDs I hit extract there, and then it'll go automatically to the next page and extract 20 more.
Wow.
And once that's done, it's trying to do that. Wait till it hops up. There we go, to 39. Then I'm going to go ahead and stop it. Now, here's one of the things that's bad but yet good because Michelle's on top of it. She came out with Tubinator 2.4. When MySpace caught on to the fact that they had these bots that were going out and automatically adding friends, they really got in there and tried to figure out ways to stop that from happening. And one of the things that really finally stopped it was by adding this CAPTCHA, so where you have to type in the letters that show that you're a human. And for the longest time, these guys were updating their friend adding software to the point where they would overcome whatever that was, so it would just skip over the page. Well, MySpace finally stopped it for good, and there's no way that those CAPTCHAs can now be bypassed. Now, here on YouTube, they do have the CAPTCHA that if you go slow enough, and here's the key, you want it to make it look natural. And otherwise, YouTube's going to catch on. I really don't think there's any way they can catch on to the fact that you're using this software unless you, and this is why I love this feature, set the time delay. And I actually set it, and everyone's going to think this sounds crazy, just to add 39 friends. Why would you want to sit here all afternoon? Well, this runs in the background. So, you can get up in the morning and set it at night before you go to bed or before you go downstairs to watch TV and just say, look, while I'm away, and I could even set it to maybe 5 to 8 minutes. Every 5 to 8 minutes, send one of those friend requests while I'm away. And I click OK, and then I go ahead and I click Send Friend Request. And boom, it's going. So every 5 to 8 minutes, and now if you look down here, it's adding this guy. So I can sit here and watch it and see who it's adding. That's automatically been sent. This number up here is going to turn to a 1, and as it does, then down here you'll see time delay active. So it's just going to sit there for the next 5 to 8 minutes and not do anything, and then it'll send another. And I did this last night, and while I was working, I think it ended up sending like 32 friend requests throughout the time that I was sitting here, and I, unbeknownst to me, I had no idea. So, again, $42 is the price at Tubinator.com, and that's not an affiliate link. That's actually just the domain that you can go and get this. Now, her software also lets you automatically post broad messages and video comments and video subscriptions. That's sending requests to get video subscriptions. I don't ever use any of those. To me, that gets way too spammy. In this sense, and what I'm doing, I look at it as well. I went ahead and searched in the same way that I would if I were manually going in and adding those friends, and I'm setting it to go at a slow pace, so what's so spammy about it? Another thing you could do if you don't want to spend that money or you just feel guilty using something like that, if you have children, this is a great way to earn their $5 allowance for the week. Just set them down in front of the computer and say, okay, go add me 30 friends on YouTube, go add me 30 friends on MySpace, go add me, however you want to do it. That's something else that you could do. But just to, have this running in the background, this can really help. And again, I'm going to go ahead and stop this. That was waiting 5 to 8 minutes, so we weren't going to sit there and wait for that. Know that this process of adding friends that we were just talking about, even if you do it manually, even if not using the software, this can help you with gaining subscribers. Because if people are interested in your niche topic and then they see the friend request, they may come over and eventually subscribe to you. Also, for gaining subscribers, once you've got a decent amount of content up on your channel, go start subscribing to other channels, because what you'll find is that a lot of people on YouTube are, especially heavy content producers, are great at reciprocating that subscriber. They call it sub for sub. A lot of people will send you emails, spam, and say, hey, sub for a sub. In other words, you subscribe to me and I'll subscribe to you. Don't go out and do that. But going out, once you have a decent amount of content and subscribing to others is a great thing to do. You'll find a lot of people reciprocate.
Okay, this is Julie jumping in here on December the 29th to add an additional change that has been made on YouTube, and that is that on the YouTube channels, there are no longer bulletins that appear on the channels. So where the webinar is about to pick up, the title of the next chapter, chapter 7, says that it's utilizing bulletins and emails within YouTube. So that has actually changed. In fact, I kick off with utilizing the emails within YouTube, which is one of the advantages of having lots of friends, what we just learned about in the last chapter. However, when it gets to utilizing bulletins, I have renamed the chapter. So it's instead utilizing emails and activity feeds, which are the recent activity feeds we touched on earlier. That is what is now being used instead of the bulletins. And I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit later in this chapter 7. And so first let's jump in and see about utilizing emails, and then I'll be back in just a bit.
Now, this is the next section, utilizing bulletins and emails within YouTube. If you're using something like Tubinator or manually doing it or paying your kids to do it, no matter what, the more friends you have, they become like subscribers in the way that this is a screenshot of Brad's email. Now, these are all the people that have sent him videos. This is a little annoying because a lot of these people have added us as a friend on their accounts, and I never really look to see because I'm just running in there. I'm not the person. When I was at the Boaters TV, I was actually